So this week we kicked off our Faith and Being summer series. It's really based on Krista Tippett's podcast, On Being. You can look that up on our webpage. We have links to every Sunday's podcast that we're working off of. So we're taking the interview she does with someone of import in the spiritual world and finding a kernel to explore on Sunday. So this past Sunday, we looked at Joan Halifax and the interview she did with Krista Tippett on the On Being podcast. And it was about a lot of things. Joan Halifax is a Buddhist and a teacher and an ecologist and a political activist. But I really looked at the notion of compassion fatigue, and having done a whole year on the theme of compassion, we thought, why not start with compassion fatigue, which Joan Halifax calls empathic distress. And she's talking about how we can be overwhelmed by things we can't control. We can turn on the news and there's 10 things that we have to care about, we should care about, or we do care about, and we can't do much about. So I looked for an answer to that. And one answer I found was that we maybe can't do something about that, but we can do something about the suffering of the people around us. Really being mindful about what's happening with the people who live in our own homes or work in our workplaces or in our communities, and not feeling the burden of having to become everything and every answer for everyone and every situation, but just to become a beginning. And I used a poet's words to get to that. There's this notion that I brought up, which is called functional atheism, which is not a theological concept. It's the idea that we ourselves must be the answer for every problem, and then we fail to look for help from others. So I addressed a lot of that in the idea that the world is overwhelming. It's overwhelming not only with the news, but with the events of our lives. And so to really look in on our motivations about helping and finding that mindfulness for each other. I think that's what Joan Halifax was really trying to get us to. So that's the AfterWord for today. We hope that you do go to our website and then listen to those podcasts even before Sunday if you're coming to church, and respond to this afterward. We'd love to hear what you have to say.